These hens have been rescued. They were going for slaughter.
Is that your first time you've seen daylight?
They're so inquisitive and curious. I'd say to anyone, how can you ignore this? How wonderful they are and friendly. I can't wait for spring and for them to feel the warm on the back.
They've progressed a lot in how they look, and the feathers have come back and the little personalities are starting to come through as well. They're just very, very bright and wonderful and friendly. All the time I think, well, look at you having this lovely life, and think of the caged hens and what it must be like for them. I do as much campaigning as I can, and you know, it's not just petitions, it's being out on the streets with banners and things, so leafleting people. I think it's, again, creating an awareness. I've been down to the Houses of Parliament and lobbied my MP about banning cages for hens. I believe that free range isn't great, but let's start with banning cages, because absolutely awful to think of hens doing that.